Please watch to the end. Comment and respond to other people's comments.
First today at noon, we have new information in a weekend shooting that took a life, including the name of the shooting victim and what led up to his death. Rochester police say the victim was 24-year-old Osbel Ornelas. Rochester police say this is a case of road rage. 20-year-old Isaac Gutierrez is facing a charge of second-degree murder. 26-year-old Jose Gutierrez Ojeda is facing a charge of felony second-degree assault. Police say the shooting stemmed from a road rage incident in the parking lot near Chick-fil-A on South Broadway Avenue about 2 Saturday afternoon. Both drivers, Gutierrez, Ojeda, and Ornelas, were involved in a fight. At one point, police say Gutierrez Ojeda's passenger, Isaac Gutierrez, got out of the vehicle and shot Ornelas in the head. He fell to the ground. The two men who are facing charges waited for law enforcement in their vehicle. Police say there was some initial confusion here because Jose Gutierrez Ojeda claimed he was the shooter and acted in self-defense. But police say surveillance video and witnesses show that Isaac Gutierrez was the gunman. Police believe these men are brothers. Ornelas was taken to Mayo Clinic where he died. Police say it does not appear the groups knew each other.
And continuing our coverage from earlier today, the state of Minnesota versus Isaac Gutierrez, the trial began today. You may remember this as the Chick-fil-A parking lot shooting in Rochester. The jury was selected and is currently hearing arguments for and against the charges of second-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon against Osbel Ornelas. KIMT News 3's Evan Berg was in the courtroom today.
The jury trial for Isaac Gutierrez began today, and the key issues the prosecution wants the jury to consider are whether or not the shooting of Osbel Ornelas Jr. was intentional, and whether it was done in self-defense. The incident was on February 3rd, around 1:30 p.m., while Osbel Ornelas Jr. was looking for parking near the Rochester Chick-fil-A on his way to pick up his sister Eliana from her job at the neighboring Savers. Ornelas' mother, Belinda, who was with him at the time, says a pickup truck belonging to the Gutierrez brothers was blocking a lane of traffic in the parking lot, so he honked at the vehicle to move. This is what started a verbal altercation with Isaac Gutierrez's brother, Jose Gutierrez Ojeda. Belinda and two other witnesses who were at the scene, who were present at today's trial, testified that after pulling over to talk the situation out, Jose pulled a gun on Ornelas before deciding to put it back in his car. Ornelas then reportedly taunted Jose, saying he wasn't afraid of the gun, which started a fight between the two, which was soon joined by Jose Perez, a family friend of Ornelas, who had been riding in the back seat. The defense says Isaac Gutierrez, after seeing that his brother was outnumbered, retrieved his brother's gun, which witnesses claim already had a bullet in the chamber, and proceeded to go out and try and de-escalate the situation. The gun then discharged, following which witnesses say Ornelas was reported to be shot in the head. The prosecution argues the firing of the gun was intentional. The jury will be hearing more from both the defense and the prosecution tomorrow on July 31st before it reaches a conclusion.
A verdict was reached today in the trial involving the man accused of shooting another man in the Rochester Chick-fil-A parking lot and killing him. A jury found Isaac Gutierrez guilty of one count of second-degree murder without intent in the death of Osbel Ornelas Jr. The jury also found Gutierrez innocent of a count of second-degree murder with intent. KIMT News 3 was watching from the case from inside the courtroom throughout the week and saw Gutierrez take the stand earlier today to tell his side of the story after 2 days of other eyewitness accounts on the shooting death of Osbel Ornelas Jr. The defense argued that there wasn't enough evidence to Gutierrez's state of mind to show that he intended to kill him that day. The fight was over a parking spot. Now, the prosecution questioned his motives during the cross-examination for bringing a gun to de-escalate a fist fight. Sentencing for Gutierrez will be October 7th.
We all, Osbel's family and my kids, just need prayers for the future because it's been tough, and
Catriel Nelson.
I'm just praying for the future.
Has been staying strong for her two boys, 3-year-old Caesar and 4-year-old Royce.
Yeah.
After their father, Osbel Ornelas' life was tragically taken during a February shooting during an altercation in this Rochester parking lot.
Mommy, when can we go to heaven to see Daddy again?
After just 2 hours of deliberations Thursday afternoon, a jury found Isaac Gutierrez guilty of one charge of second-degree murder, but acquitted him of another. The 20-year-old faces a maximum of 40 years, but Nelson says no amount of time will bring back the father of her children.
My two boys could possibly walk past him in the grocery store in a couple years, the same guy who cold-bloodedly killed their, it doesn't sit right with anyone, I don't think.
Nelson making sure her little ones remember their dad.
Knew at 4, I need more time. That's the reason an Olmsted County judge says she's delaying the sentencing of Isaac Gutierrez. He's the man found guilty of second-degree murder without intent for his role in a deadly road rage shooting in February.
Isaac Gutierrez was sentenced to 5 years in prison for the second-degree unintentional murder of Osbel Ornelas Jr. in a Chick-fil-A parking lot in Rochester, Minnesota. Although sentencing guidelines recommended 12.5 years, Judge Lisa R. Hayne granted a reduced sentence due to Gutierrez's age, remorse, and the victim's role in the altercation. The Olmsted County Attorney's Office and the state of Minnesota appealed the sentence, arguing it was too lenient. The victim's family also criticized the decision, believing justice was not fully served.
We start this afternoon with an appeal in a Rochester murder case. The state of Minnesota says 5 years is too short of a sentence for Isaac Gutierrez. He's the man convicted of shooting and killing Osbel Ornelas last year during a road rage incident near Chick-fil-A back in February. Today, the state filed a motion to have all trial court records, exhibits, and transcripts from the case sent to prosecutors. An Olmsted County jury found Gutierrez guilty of second-degree murder in August. His sentencing was held in October. The state is now requesting a longer sentence for the crime. Another Olmsted County court case, a Rochester man is facing deportation as he takes responsibility for his role in a deadly road rage shooting last year. Today in Olmsted County Court, Jose Gutierrez Ojeda pled guilty to a felony count of aiding an offender. Investigators say Ojeda tried to take the fall for his brother, Isaac Gutierrez, when he shot and killed Osbel Ornelas in the parking lot of a Rochester Chick-fil-A. Ojeda's defense attorney, Eric Olson, is asking the judge to consider a reduced sentence as part of a plea deal. Right now, Ojeda could lose his green card and be deported if he's sentenced to more than a year behind bars.
One of two brothers charged in connection with the deadly shooting in the Chick-fil-A parking lot 1 year ago goes before an Olmsted County judge to make a guilty plea. Jose Gutierrez Ojeda pleaded guilty to the charge of aiding an offender taking responsibility for criminal acts. That was one of 4 charges he had been facing. The others included another charge of aiding an offender, a second-degree assault charge, and terroristic threats.